Hello, creatives. My name is John Ofo of John Visual. In this section of our tutorial, we are going to be seeing how to create a church flyer design from the scratch to the finish. The design process, the thought, what led, why I use some of the elements. And in this flyer design, we'll be doing more of storytelling. We'll be using the background to tell the story of the team so that when our targeted audience sees the flyer, they'll be able to relate even without looking at the information. So, without wasting much of your time, let's get started. So, the first thing I have to do here is to create a solid color. I'll go to my adjustment layer. I'll select my solid color. Now, my solid color, I'll choose, I'll be making use of red. I'll be using red. The reason I'm using red is to depict or pass this information of energy, power, strength. I'll press my OK. So next thing I will do here is to take my background. I'll click on my file, select place embedded. So I want to add the first background here. Okay, so this is the first background I added here. This is my first background. Okay, so this is the background here. I will enlarge it, then bring it a bit down, and I'll press OK. So next thing I will do, I will change my blending mode. I'll change my blending mode to screen. I'll change the blending mode to screen. I'll have to add Gaussian blur to the background. I'll leave it at 10 because I want to have a smooth background. I'll leave it at 10. Next thing to do is to bring another background, that is this burning, this very background. So I'll increase it, take it up. So I'll use my blending mode to see the particular blending mode that will work with what I actually want. So I'll check on lighting, screen, color dodge, linear dot, no. So I think linear light works better. We'll use linear light here. Next thing I will do is to add my layer and clean off the part I don't want to see on this very background. What I'm trying to blend the background. So I'll softly do that so that it will blend well with the background. All right, so we have something like this now. We have something like this, looking as if it's part of the background. Okay, so next thing I will do here is to, let's check this is the actual flyer we are using to create that. So next thing I will do here is to, I have another element I want to include, a touch of fire. So okay, this is it. So I'm going to increase it. Move it to the right side of it, rotate it a little. So I'm going to change the blending mode here to screen. Why I'm going to change the blending mode to screen is I want to take away the dark part of it and leave the lighter part of it. Okay, this is what I want us to have here. So let's take it a bit up. Okay, it's okay. So the next thing I will do here is to get my element, the element I used here. So let's get the element. Okay, so this is the element I used. I'm going to reduce the size of it. But looking at this element, I'm having some fringes at the outer side of it, at the edge of it. So I'll remember in the previous tutorial I taught us how to remove fringes on our images. So I'm going to hold my control and click on the thumbnail of the image. Go to select, modify, contrast. I'll leave it at 2. Press OK. Then click on add layer. Add new layer. So this is it. I've removed the fringes around the edge of this element. So I'm going to duplicate this element. Why I'm going to duplicate this image, I want the date and time to be on this image, on this very element. Sorry. So I'm going to duplicate this element here and reduce the size. So I'll press Ctrl T to transform and then reduce the size of it. I'll reduce the size of it. Okay, so let me increase it a little. All right, we have something like this. So let me shift this a little. Let me take this burning altar. All right, so let me take this a little bit up. Okay, so this is okay now. The next thing I'm going to do here is to get another of our let's bring the images of the ministers we are using here. Remember, the concept behind this whole design is to tell a story using our background. So let's get the images. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and invite other creatives to be part of the knowledge you are enjoying. So this time around, we are going to select the ministers. This is the first. This is part of the ministers we are using. So I'll reduce the size of it. And also don't forget that I told us the placement of our element matters a lot if our design will be successful or not. So don't forget that the arrangement of our elements matters a lot. I just want to let me import our images that will be used, and then we'll carefully arrange them to our own tests. Okay, so this is the last image that was used. Okay, all right, so I'm going to arrange these images. So this is the first image. I'm going to send this very image behind him. Then I'll bring it a little bit down. I'm going to bring it down. So I'm going to increase the image of this lady. I'm going to increase the image a little by pressing Ctrl T, and then I will hold my Alt key, drag by the side. So next thing I will do here is to flip the positioning of this lady, because I don't like the way she is being positioned. If I should place it behind this preacher, she will be covered. So I will flip it something like this to have a result like this. Is okay. So I have something like this. All right, so okay, something like this is okay. Let me bring it a bit down. Okay, something like this is okay. So let's properly arrange the. So there is something I want us to do. Let's readjust. Let's make an adjustment to this background, to this burning altar. Let's make a little adjustment to it. So I'll reduce it a little. I'll reduce the size a little. Okay. Something like this is okay. So I will take this element up. Push this up. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to take this lady up, bring this. Okay, we are having something like this. We are having, okay, this is good. The next thing I would want us to do here is to create a rectangle shape beneath this design, so we'll be able to put our address when we start imputing other details. So this is what I'm going to do. Sorry. Okay, something we have something like this. So next thing I will do here is to change the color to white. But I'm getting this image of this lady looks bigger than the other images, so I will reduce her image size. I'll reduce her image size a little, so they will have this oneness in terms of the image size. Okay, we are okay like this. So let's look at the next thing to do. Okay, let's add some white. Let's add some blending. I'm going to add a layer mask. So I'm going to make use of a color white behind at the background. Sorry. So I'll click on the touch element. I click on create new layer. So I'll go to my brush, select my brush tool, click on the foreground color and change it to white. This time around, I'm going to reduce the flow to about 35. I'm going to increase my brush size because I want the part of the background to have this white color. So this is what I will slightly click on it. Yeah, something like we're having something. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think we are okay now. We're okay now. The next thing to do here is to start bringing our text and other elements. So this, let me show us how. I know in the previous tutorials I've taught us how to achieve this kind of bent right up. So I'm going to do it here I'm going to click on my text tool. The first I'm going to type here is burning. The font I'm using here is Shark Grotex. That's what I'm using here. Okay, I'm going to use the black italic. I will change the color. I'll change the color. So I'm going to write burning. I'll press OK. Let's use a shade of this gold color, a shade of it for contrast sake. All right. Okay, so next thing I'm going to, let's see if yellow can do. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do here is to right click. So I'm going to press Ctrl T. I'll press Ctrl T. right click and then select my skill. I'll move this up, bring this down a little. So I'm going to press OK, bring it down. Okay, we're having something like that. I'm going to press Ctrl J to duplicate. Now I want to write my altar. I'm going to increase the size of it now. I'm going to increase the size of it. I'm going to increase. Okay. We have this. We have this now. I will also, let me take it behind that this element. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is to put this submit 2025 is easy. So I'll still duplicate this. I'll still press Ctrl. Okay, let me duplicate the burning by pressing Ctrl J. I'll bring it down. Don't worry, we'll fix this. I'll bring it down. I'll reduce the size of it. No, not the size of the altar. The size of the burning. You're going to reduce it. You're going to reduce it. So I'm going to write Summit 2025. I'll send it behind the image of the ministers. I'll send it behind the image of the ministers. Okay, we are good to go. This is what we are having here. All right, next thing to do here is to bring our, but before then there was something I did. I needed this whole text to blend perfectly with the element that is being placed on top. So I'm going to group theme. I'm going to group it. I'll right click and then go to my underlying layer. I'll press Alt and split this dark part of layer. I'm going to split it. I've already split it. I'm going to move it, then go to the right side, hold my Alt, click and drag also to split, so that theme will blend perfectly inside the element. Are we seeing what is happening here? So I want it to be inside. Let it look as if it is being placed inside the element. Okay, so I'll click on OK. This, I think the burning is a bit hard, so let's reduce the lighter part of it. Okay, all right, this is okay. Next thing I'm going to do is to add my date. I'll still repeat the same thing here by clicking on the submit, then click on Ctrl J to duplicate. I'll drag and take it above the element, above this element. This is what, so we are going to add our date here. Let's edit this Summit 2025. So I'm going to make use of a date here, a past date, Friday 18 of, let's say, January, a past date 2025. Okay, we're not going to add the 2025 because on our team we already have submit 2025. Okay, so I'm good. This time around, I'm going to reduce the size. I'm going to reduce the size to accommodate the time that was used. That is the essence of it. And this time around, I'm going to change the I'm going to use a lighter, an italic, medium italic. The font variation, I'll use medium italic. Okay. So I'm going to add my time. How do I add my time? I'll still press on Control J. I'll add the time. 5 p.m. But this 5 p.m. I'm going to increase. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to change the color here to white, so that one can easily spot the time. I'm going to use a border variation here, and then increase the size of the time to 5 p.m. Another thing I would do is to create an arrow, sorry, a rectangular shape here that will point towards, rectangles, shapes are used for direction, especially triangle. Triangle is used for mainly for direction. So let's reduce it a little. Let me delete it. I'm not having a perfect triangle, so I'm going to delete it. Let's draw. I'll hold my shift key and then draw. Something like this is okay. I'll press Ctrl T to transform and then move it 90 degrees. 90 degree. Okay. Let's leave it like this. I'll press OK, then drag it towards this shape so that it can easily point towards the direction of our time. Okay, so what is the next thing we are going to do here? The next thing to do here is to add our location. So I'm not going to waste time on adding the location and the name. I will quickly drag and drop from this flyer design we're using as a template to our work. So I'm going to let me get the logo to save our time. So I'm going to drop our logo here. Okay, I'm going to drop our logo here. This is okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get our location. Now. Okay, this is our location. So I'll click and drag. So I'm going to put it beneath this. Let me take it up. Okay, so I am going to align this location by clicking on the folder of the location, drag down to my layer panel, hold my control key, select background, and then come to this property bar. I'll click on this very option here to center align our text. Remember, alignment is one of the principles of graphic designing, and you have to obey it. You have to put the principles of designing into consideration while you are designing, both the alignment, the contrast, typography. You have to put all these things into consideration. Okay, so let's continue. Next thing we'll do here is to get the names. Okay, this time around, I won't put the names be in front of the preachers. Instead, I decided to do something different from the normal name write-up we normally used to see in our church flyer. So what I did was to create a rectangular shape beside at the left side of our church flyer, then include their names there. That was what I did here. Is something that we can easily do. So let me check the name. This is the name. Okay. Now, time around, I'm going to drag it behind the elements, our team, behind our team and the image. So Control T. I'm going to move it by the side. All right. Okay, there is something else we need to do here. There's something else we need to do here. I am going to blur this fire torch. I'll blur it. I'm going to blur it to 7. I'll blur it to 7. I'm going to blur it to 7. Let's see what is remaining again. Okay, there is nothing remaining again. Remember, I normally tell us about color grading. It's very, very important. Whenever you finish your design, try as much as possible to color grade your design so that they will have this color harmony while your targeted audience sees it. So we'll quickly go to that. I'll select my adjustment layer. I'll choose my adjustment layer, select on color balance. So because we are dealing with fire, we have 2 colors in mind, red and orange, or 3 colors, red, orange, and yellow. So this our background should have, this our design should have these 3 colors, red, orange, and yellow. So I'm going to add red to it. I'm going to add red to it. I'll add yellow to it as our mid tone. Our shadow, I'm going to add red to the shadow. I'm going to add let's add a little of blue to the shadow. Okay, so let's go to our highlight. I'm going to add yellow to our highlight and add red to the highlight. So I'm done with our color balance. Let's go to color lookup. Color lookup, I'll select trace stripe and reduce the opacity to 4. Okay, let's use 30. 30 is okay. Let's use 30. This is before. Let's use 30. Next thing I will do here is to go to my color filter. We're going to use, let's see, yellow. Sorry, let's check. Let's check yellow. Let's check red. Red color. Okay. No. Deep red. No, let's check deep yellow. Okay, deep yellow works better. So I'm going to reduce the density to 17 and reduce the opacity to 60 and reduce the opacity to 60. So next thing I will do here is, after reducing my opacity to 60, next thing I will do here is to create an invisible stamp layer by pressing Ctrl Shift Alternate E to create an invisible stamp layer. So I'll convert this to a smart object. The reason I'm converting this to a smart object is to enable me make an adjustment if after the whole design I don't like the colors and everything, so I want to make correction to it. I can easily go to my layer. I can go to my layer, select on camera raw filter, make adjustment, because I converted to camera raw filter. But if I don't come out to camera raw filter and leave it as a rasterized layer, we'll find it difficult to make changes. So it's always important, if you're working on any image or any element on your design, ensure that that particular layer is converted to a smart object, so that even at the long run of your design, you can easily come back to that particular element, make adjustment to it, and continue your design. So let's take this whole design to camera raw filter to bring out the beauty of it, the sharpness, the image quality and everything. So I'm going to press Ctrl Shift A as my short cut key. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. So this is our camera raw filter panel. So I'll go to, first of all, I'll go to my details. I'll increase my sharpening. There is no one way to this, it depends on your choice. So I'm going to select, I will use 70. I'll go to my basic, increase my exposure to 20, increase the contrast a bit, so my highlight will be 5. I'll reduce the shadow, increase the whiteness, then reduce the black area. Next thing to do, I will go to my texture. Texture helps to review more details of your design, but you have to be careful while working with texture and clarity. Like I don't normally push my texture up that much. I'll just leave it around, leave it around 20, okay, around 16. So I'm going to increase my clarity to 9, increase my vibrance to 20. So I'll go to my color grading. So I'll come to my mid tone. I'll come to my, this mid tone is both the dark and the light aspect. What color do I want them to have? So I'm going to make use of the, let's use a bit